You can also listen on the phone, by the way. So if you have a hard time getting in at any time, just remember the same number that you dial in on, which is 347-324-3704. Now, as promised, we have our good friend Demcad here, otherwise known as Reginald. Demcad, you're still on with us, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm very excited about this.
Right. We've been talking about this for months, and now the moment that you've been waiting for, we have Mr. Bob Chapman from the International Forecaster along with us. Of course, he runs the International Forecaster. He's been in a ton of trades over the last 45, 50 years. He's a regular on the Proof Negative show as well as many other fine talk shows. Mr. Chapman, it's always a pleasure to have you on the line with us.
Well, thank you very much.
And I have my co-host here, Demcad, who Demcad is one of the biggest Patriot YouTubers. So he puts out videos every day and has thousands of subscribers. And he's one of my fellow talk show hosts here on the network, and he wanted to meet you. So I have him here as my trusty co-host today.
Hello, it's a
pleasure.
That's
just great. Very nice to meet you.
All right, now, first things first here, I guess we could talk about the hottest news of the day, which is Brown winning the senator race in Massachusetts. Do you feel that this will slow down the health care bill, or do you really think the reconciliation is going to happen and they're going to ram it down our throats?
Well, I can't answer it fully.
Right.
And the reason why is the now unelectable Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi, they are, politically screwed, and they're going to do everything they can to increase the control over the American people by the Illuminati. And this health care package is just beyond disastrous. I mean, how any Democrat would vote for it, I can't understand. But we've just seen perhaps a pivotal point in history with the election in Massachusetts. And occasionally Republicans get elected governor or senator, and most of them who do get elected really aren't Republicans. They're just members and representatives of the Illuminati. And for him to get elected is very, very important, because it gives us hope that maybe if liberal Massachusetts, incidentally, I grew up in Boston and went to university there, and so I understand the thinking process of the majority of people in that state. And for them to have voted him in, they must have been deeply incensed about the lack of change that the president promised, the health care reform bill that is disastrous, the pushing of cap and trade, and the lies, the scam that is global warming, which you just pointed out in a parody, which was very good, incidentally. I enjoyed it.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'm glad that finally I had issues uploading that, so much appreciated, Mr. Chapman.
Yeah, it was good. And I've been saying the same thing on radio here for the last few weeks or a month. I did about 50 programs exposing what they were doing on radio just about the time that the scandal at East Anglia University broke out, the academic and the tremendous fraud. And, of course, the American government gave $23 million to that group. For what reason, I don't know, other than the fact that it's run by the Illuminati. And but anyway, I think they're fed up with it. I think if liberals in Massachusetts can see through it all and they see a different vision of the future than the rest of America can. So that's step one. Step two is the elections let's backtrack. Step 2 is the passage of the appropriations bill, including Ron Paul's 1207, to get rid of the Fed, essentially. And if that gets through, they'll start working on exposing what the Fed's been doing, which is looting the American public for 96 years and enriching Wall Street and banking and insurance and transnational conglomerates. The third...
Go ahead, sorry.
The third item is throwing 95% of the people out of Congress. You've got to get them out. It's the only way we can save our country. We are going to go through a terrible depression, and we can't have these criminals running our country while we're going through it.
Right, so we have to sit here and take our lumps, or if we just sit here, take our lumps, and we'll be out of it fairly quickly instead of just trying to stick your hands in when you're stuck in quicksand.
Well, if they continue doing what they're doing, they could hold off 2 or 3 more years, but I don't see it going much beyond that because of the terrible debt. And, the outcome could be devaluation, a breakdown of the financial structure, worldwide, mind you, not just in the United States. And it's something American people have got to accept. The people in whose hands they put their government have betrayed them. They've looted our country, along with the people I mentioned previously. It's got to stop. We can't survive as a nation without having tariffs. We won't have any jobs left. I mean, who can, even at $5 an hour in America, can compete with Chinese coolies? I mean, give me a break. I mean, they work for $2 a day or whatever it is. That's got to come to an end. We got to get rid of executive orders. We got to get rid of lobbying. We've got to get rid of campaign contributions. We got to clean house. And now is the time to do it. So all you people who are listening, get on your horses and ride to the polls on November the 2nd and get rid of them all, except a handful.
Right. And Demcat, I know you had a couple of questions coming in. If you have anything, by all means, go ahead.
Yes, I just read that there were over 3 million, about 3 million foreclosures in 2009, and that number really shocked me. So I was wondering if you believe that there was a possibility that certain aspects of the economy could force a dollar to take an earlier downturn. For example, maybe the option arms situation may cause federal tax revenue to actually decline, and maybe there may be an even larger deficit. I was wondering if you thought that there were some possible events that could actually accelerate the process of the dollar actually declining.
Well, all those things are in motion right now. Today, I don't know what agency it is, but they're allowing flippers to come back into the real estate market. And they'll do anything to get rid of the inventory that the banks have, to get it off their books. The banks, the brokerage firms, the insurance companies, transnationals, and other corporations are running 2 sets of books. 2 sets of books. One set has bad things in it, and the other set has good things. And the whole thing is crazy. They're all bankrupt. The government's bankrupt. And the revenues are already dropping. The Alta loans, the option arms are killers. It's going to go on until 2012. And on top of that, people who have good jobs, good credit, they're losing their jobs. They're going overseas to India, Afghanistan, all over the place. And so what are we to do? We've got to stop it. But you can't recover when 9-10% of your total economy now is in manufacturing, down from 28% 25 years ago, maybe 30 years ago now. It's suicide. we cannot compete with slave labor. We just can't. And we've never been able to, because we've always had a high or higher standard of living than anybody else. And so we're in deep trouble. And the whole world is, as a matter of fact. Because what you're seeing...
go ahead.
For what you're seeing didn't happen by chance or through incompetence. It was planned that way.